This is the Millennium Bridge in York. It was put up in 2001, or opened in 2001, as a series of very, very ugly buildings around the country and ugly monuments that commemorated the millennium, that is, the year 2000. Or if we're going to go by the slightly odd calculations that the Victorians used to calculate when the 19th century turned into the 20th, it could have been 2001. It depends who you ask, really, where the millennium falls. Anyway, there's been some recent controversy reported in the York press about this bridge, as it was opened by a man called Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, who used to be Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, and his name is commemorated on the plaque that's on the bridge that he sort of unveiled. There was a curtain thing. Anyway, now the controversy is, of course, that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been doing some pretty nasty things, and this has somewhat turned the United Kingdom against him, in opinion. And so there have been calls to change the plaque on the bridge to remove any mention of him. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely dead against Andrew. I'm not at all keen on him as a person. I think he's done irreparable damage, not just to his country's name, but also to the royal family, a very august institution, which I support wholeheartedly. So I think he's basically a national traitor, and I don't like him one bit. However, in the York press, there were a series of very, very sensible letters. I was thinking of writing one myself, actually, but a lot of other people picked me to the post. And I'm not just saying they're very sensible because I write letters to the York press on occasion. But yes, there were some ones after the news story was reported that the plaque should be changed, that essentially said, and I was very keen on this. One of them mentioned the Damnatio Memoriæ, which was a punishment the Romans had for disgraced public officials, where they would remove their name from absolutely they would remove any mention of them in all the public files, public records. And the letter said, let's not be like the Romans, because I agree, right? I mean, the Romans were very, very good people, but they did some bad things, like having slaves, the death penalty, and the Damnatio Memoriæ, I would say, because while it's a very effective propaganda tool to remove your enemy's name from any and every public record, I don't think it's very good for history. And it is a matter of historical fact that a man who used to be Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, did open this bridge in 2001, and so the plaque should say that, I think. I don't see any inherent value in just removing his name from the plaque, because, well, it doesn't really change a great deal. So I suppose my message is, I think history is more important. So let's leave the names as it is. I know he's unpleasant, but I think we should leave the names. Thank you.